Welcome back to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Tonight's topic is CTCFI at 30 years next year. And joining us now back is Father Giovanni. He's the founder of CTCFI. Welcome back, Father. And of course, Tess Carmelo is still here, Director and Treasurer of CTCFI. So, nice show, very interesting, very inspiring. But I want to talk about, Father and Tess, that very nice videos we've been showing of your students playing rondalia. Well, what is this about, Father? I mean, these kids who are playing the beautiful music when they're rondalias.
Yes, Filipino musica. Tapos they wear also the Philippine
traditional,
yes, etc. Pero this enter in the culture, cultura, because the music is a universal. As globalization, we use a lot that time globalization, and for them the music educates very well.
Very good. Is it a core activity of yours in CTCFI test, the music aspect?
Yeah, actually it's been us playing a particular part. No? My cousin, this is, I told you, a collaboration of people. My cousin told me, why don't you start rondalia? You're talking about orchestra, but rondalia is Filipino, and you have a lot of children. They are so talented and very easy to teach. You can start this kind of music, and it can give more joy, and it can give more space for education, and it can even develop self-confidence among children and young people. So we started, and then eventually we have one student. The name is Andrew. Now he's a graduate. He's taking up his masteral at UP. He said, "Ate, is another way of expressing respect. Ate, I can handle the rondalia while I am studying. I can spare part of my time teaching the professional way." So when he started to come in, they started to go out. They played in different organizations, the SWD. They even played ASEAN. During the ASEAN, they were one of those who welcomed the ASEAN delegates. And the last performance was done in Baguio for Rotary Club Baguio.
Very good. And I want to emphasize also the healing and the calming aspect of music and arts. Because as you said, Father, a lot of these children come from extreme poverty. And music has an extreme poverty and also very harsh childhood, backgrounds. And music as a way of healing, really.
But I observe the Filipino, they like a music. They have a music in the blood.
Like Italians.
Yes, like Italian, yes. Parenthesis, for example, for graduation in the Philippines, the school, they use the special music that the majority of teachers, they don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from Giuseppe Verdi, La Traviata,
Very nice, very nice.
the Triumph of Aida.
Of course,
Yeah.
famous operas.
All
Definitely.
Filipino, they know this one.
Definitely.
It's very good. Because the music educates, elevates, gives us a dignity, education, respecto, etc.
Bravo, bravo. Let's talk about Talita Kumi. We mentioned it several times, and we understand that Tess was telling us about how that inspirational story of when she first saw the site in Alfonso, and she could not believe that something could ever come out of it because it was barren, far from the center of action in town, and then voila.
Yeah.
Now it's up and running. Tell us a bit about Talita Kumi, Father, quickly.
Talita Kumi,
Yes.
the meaning is coming from gospel. When died one little girl, 12 years old. Maybe was the unique daughter of one couple. And the disciple Jesus, they call him Jesus, Maestro, come. Died one little girl, desperation for parents. And Jesus went there, entering the little house. In front of this girl, he shouted, Talita Kumi. It's Aramaic language. Jesus spoke Aramaic
Interesting,
language.
yes.
Talita Kumi, reget your life, rise again. The idea to give it a name 10 years ago
Yes.
during construction
Yes.
was in one night I was in Tondo during one strong typhoon. Impossible to sleep. I reminded Talita Kumi. In the gospel, it's reported Talita Kumi. I talked to other people, to her, my confreres, and we accepted, we gave the name, because this place really is one, in Tagalog, one canton and paraiso. Because
Corner of paradise.
yeah, the
Piece of
beautiful
paradise.
Harding, etc. Very good. A lot of people, when they enter, they say, when we enter here, we feel another atmosphere.
And I think that is perfect for the purpose of Talita Kumi Center,
Yes,
which
it's
is
a
it's a retreat house, I understand.
It's a healing place.
What
So
do you mean
you-
by healing place?
Healing, it's not only to heal physically, because our patients from Tondo are coming there by batch to change the air, to receive some formation, to receive some training, activities,
These are children. No.
children and old people.
Okay, so it's
yeah.
open not just for your students, but for
Yeah, for the elderlies.
for elderly people
Yes.
from Tondo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What kind of healing goes on here?
we,
Tess?
we have of course the natural environment plus the food coming from organic farming. Another is the opportunity for them also to create an activity which can help them to be more productive, not only to become dependent but also to become more productive as a person. They discover their talents through the activities we provide. We prepare some programs, and then this becomes a venue for people to discover what they have. Like Kiara, when she first started in Talita Kumi, she never imagined that she would cook for 20 people. So it was her first
I thought
time.
all Italian women knew how to cook.
Yeah, was her first time. So it becomes
Like
an
a learning,
opportunity for you to
venue,
discover,
definitely.
yes, more of yourself.
How do you choose the participants who will go to Talita Kumi? Because you're saying that it's not just children, but also elderly, older people, adults. I mean, are you targeting specific groups of people who maybe have undergone some sort of trauma,
Yes,
traumatic experiences?
we have
that
the
kind of
small
thing?
clinic in Tondo. So part of the activity is to bring them to Talita Kumi, and then to undergo a short series of training at the same time. So it's not only healing physically, you do the physical exercises, you receive the medicines, you eat the right food, but at the same time, you're given activities to rediscover more about yourself. So people especially those who cannot afford to go to the hospital, those who cannot afford to supplement their medicines with food, they become more, their healing becomes faster.
course, of
And at the same
course.
time, it doesn't stop to that. They gain also dignity as persons. So that is,
It's a holistic approach.
yeah, so I
no?
think that is the most important factor why we develop a system, and at the same time we acquire more years in the program.
Very good. How about plans for the future, Father Giovanni? Now, you've accomplished a lot in your 30th years next year. And I have to congratulate you again, and of course, Tess, for a wonderful work, wonderful project, and all the lives you've touched, all the lives you've helped improve. What are your plans for next year? Big year.
No, now we have a good, for my 50 years on priesthood in my country, the benefactors, practically they approve of one project because we have the field, big field. We start now in this month to build one youth center,
In Alfonso.
Alfonso.
Okay.
To complete practically for our program, because we have a lot of program, a lot of ideas. Okay, we try one by one to realize, according also to our possibility, because are important benefactors, are important.
Well, let's talk about the benefactors, and would you like to mention the people who've been helping you in this journey? And maybe we can, let's mention them, some of them.
The most significant names for me are the Mastroto family.
Mastroto family.
Yeah,
okay?
but Mario Chisco, his collaborator from the start, Lucio Dalla Valle, Luca Zanella, Franco Colnago, Giampiero Gastaldi, his wife Alma, his daughter, yeah, I mentioned already Luca. There are Giovanni Alban, father from there is one father, father I forgot, sorry, couldn't remember anymore, but
There's so
I
many,
don't
because
want
so
to
many
miss
helping.
Bastianello
Yes.
family.
Yes. Oh, God bless all these
Lina.
Italians.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, yes. No, do you know, my people, pero now there are a lot of crises, Europa, also moral crisis, affect also the majority of people. But we are lucky in Italy, Italian people, because we have a good history, especially from Saint Francis of Assisi.
Of course.
Is that he refounded the church, no, because history we know what happened. Since elementary school, also in public school, the first book to study is The Flowers of Saint Francis.
Very famous. book, yes.
Saint Francis gave the one Christian culture to be generous with the people are in necessity.
Very good.
It
very
affected all the church, also
Yes.
my founders, because my founders focused especially young people and little ones. That the Pope Francis now is in this program as a Pope. He recommends also all priests, go to periphery of people.
And help the underprivileged.
Not only physically,
Very good.
also psychologically, spiritually, morally.
Very good.
Feel the amoy ng tupa.
The scent of
Thank you
the
very
ships.
much. Thank you, Father Giovanni, of course. Tess, we have unfortunately come to the end of the program, and we need to close. But congratulations again, a job well done, and we will surely cover your 30th anniversary next year and help
Hopefully.
you in whatever way we can. We will help CTCFI.
Also, like you are Filipino, to listen your words in this way gave also to me more lakas, more
Molto gentile.
For
Molto
my
gentile. Grazie.
duty.
Grazie, signore. Grazie. Thank you very much, Father Giovanni. More power to you. And of course, Tess, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Grazie.
Salamat.
Grazie. Grazie. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our show tonight on Filipino-Italian collaboration, specifically CTCFI at 30 years next year. Join us again next week here on Global Village and let us take you around the world. Till next evening, next week, next Tuesday evening, I'll see you guys.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Now, in this show, we take you around the world. You visit amazing places and and get to meet interesting people. And tonight is a very nice show because it's one about Filipino-Italian collaboration for the development of grassroots education for the underprivileged. And we have two guests here who have very interesting and inspiring stories to tell. This is a story about success, a story about joy, about charity, and about hope, springing eternal. And my guests are Father Giovanni Gentilin, and he is the founder of Ctcfi, which is the Canosa Tondo Children's Foundation Incorporated. Joining him is Teresita Carmelo, and she's director and treasurer of Ctcfi. Welcome, Father Gentilin, and of course, Tess to Global Village.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you here because I always like to highlight the collaboration of Filipinos with foreigners here in this country to help move society forward. And in fact, this week and next week, we're having an all-Italian Filipino collaboration, starting with your show right here. And very nice show because we're talking about how you two have teamed up together to help underprivileged kids. Now, little introductions. Let's talk about you, Father Giovanni. What brought you to the Philippines? How long have you been here? I understand that you're almost Filipino.
I came to the Philippines November 7, 1987. Are already 30 years. I spent my life. I am very happy. Good experience about Filipino cultura, about a lot, especially my experiences with poor young people in Tondo. But in Tondo, I spent 21 years.
I understand that you have been in the priesthood for 50 years already.
Yes,
50.
last year I celebrate 50 years my priesthood, 20 years in Italy and 30 years in the Philippines. I overcame the Italy.
Very good, very
Yeah.
good. So, how has it been staying here in the Philippines, Father? How has your life been? Do you consider the Philippines your home already?
Yes, yes. My country, second country for me is the Philippines, because also it's my first experience abroad. A first experience in the Philippines, no other countries.
Very good. Let's talk about you. How did you get started in this advocacy, which is really developing a grassroots education to help underprivileged children?
I grew up in the parish where Father started his apostolate in the Philippines, particularly in Tondo. It was a dream to have a scholarship program. But when he first arrived, I saw that the dream already came true. So we started in December 1989, and little by little, the program grew. I never imagined this could be reaching already its 30th on this coming year.
Imagine that. So really, a lot has happened, a lot of success, and which we'll be talking about, the many successes of Ctcfi. But you also have a very interesting background, Tess. You weren't always in charity work. What was your background initially?
I was working with UCPB for 25 years, and then when Tali Takumi was established, I decided to at least try maybe I could find something less occupying when it comes to work, because I'd like to give more emphasis on our project, which has already became big. So when I tried to start with shipping company, I just put up a system, and then after 2 months, I decided finally I can concentrate fully well with the projects of the Canossian Fathers.
But it's also very nice that you were able to bring your skills from in the private sector to this NGO work, and I'm sure it's benefited Tess's skills in this sense, in planning and organizing and
Yes.
administration.
Yes.
Has really helped Ctcfi.
Yes, because for me to administrate is very hard. I don't have a capacity because dependent from also capacity to manage money, because the money are very delicate for everything.
Yes.
But Miss Carmelo, before she was our voluntaria, but now is a recognized administrator from my congregation.
Very good. How did your collaboration start, Tess, with Father Giovanni?
It was through the Canossian sisters also, because at that time, I have one friend, which is a Canossian, and she told me, I cannot handle teaching Father the Tagalog, so please, can you manage to at least to collaborate? And then I have my friend Loida, she's now in Australia, married, and we agreed to help because, as I told you, this was already a dream, no, from
Very.
childhood. And then when we started the program, I was really interested. Why? Because I saw him truly interested about the growth and development of children and young people. When he mentioned about education, really I felt this was a dream come true, and it was a plan of God. As you have said, skills, everything, I had that not in an overnight circumstance, but I had that through the passage of time. So I think I was already also prepared for this kind of life. Sometimes it's kind of a weird, how come I've been into this for so long?
Yes.
And then people will say voluntary. But you know, I think everything comes because of the grace. I am very grateful because having the opportunity like this is not normal for everybody. My collaboration is not because I will be recognized, but I feel my life becomes fulfilled every time I see myself collaborating in this kind of project. As I
Very
have
good.
told you, the project is not running because of money. What comes first is the relationship between two people, the Italian and the Filipino, and I appreciate very much because if I may say, I will be forever grateful because our collaborators, our friends from Italy, they are not as normal as we are. Some are already sick with leukemia. Some are already struggling in
And yet they help,
And
they
yet
take time out, and
they are
contribute the resources to help.
yes, and you can see that they survive because of the activities we have in Tondo. You can imagine, if I may mention his name, Lucho,
Please.
has been sick of leukemia for quite a time already. But continually, he's helping. He's doing a lot of things for the future of our younger generation. And this is very precious for me as a Filipino. I can only contribute what I can, but what I see is that people are involved not because they are expecting something in return, but
They just want to
because
help.
they enjoy, they
Yes.
believe this is life, and this gives more meaning to their existence.
Very good. Father Gentilin, how would you describe, what are your feelings about the help, this collaboration between Filipinos and Italians and helping the underprivileged here?
My feeling is, for example, in 29 years of, especially about the scholarship, the majority of sponsors from Italy and normal people, no Miami, no rich, etc. More than 3,700 young people, they graduated. A lot of people, they had their job, they are in career, and they come from extreme poverty. Extreme poverty, I know it means that this kind of people, they don't have also to eat regularly every day. And what they eat. When our young people, they grow, they go to school, they get a culture, we give information, we divide in groups, because a lot, from elementary, from
Yes.
kinder
Yes.
to college, and some also university, and they realize their dream, because everybody in the life they have their dream, everybody.
Of course, of course.
And they realize their future. I am very happy for them.
Absolutely. Tess, Father mentioned 3,700 graduates in 29 years.
Yes.
And I understand that you started very small. Initially, you only had, I think one
The
scholar.
first was one.
Tell us a bit about how it grew from 1 to 3,700.
First, we started with one boy. And then in 1 week time, his friends, his brother, I think it involves also the participation of family. As you see, most of the sponsors are coming from the north,
Yes.
especially in his hometown, in his own hometown.
Northern Italy, yes.
Yeah, in Vicenza particularly. And the family has a very big influence in the life of every person. I think his family has a big influence. When he first started this apostolate in Tondo, it was his brother priest, Father Antonio, who assisted him. I saw him coming with his brother doctor, and some friends from time to time, they come over to to see father, to visit him, to help him in some household chores. This, I think, is very precious for me personally
Definitely.
to see that I got more inspired to collaborate. Because I think the most important thing in this project is the relationship. It's the generosity, it's the unconditional love. You know, if I go back to where we started, some of our students have had the opportunity to go to Italy for vacation. 1 month, sometimes they stay with their sponsors. Some they even had to travel with the sponsors, and this
It's really changed lives. And
yeah,
it
added
really
more
has changed
culture.
lives.
And what is more important is that for me, the 2000 was the peak of our program. That was the time when many of our students were sent to Italy to join the World Youth Day, to join the Jubilee year, and then to have the experience to be with the Africans, the
What an
Brazilians.
amazing experience.
Yes, and we were compared with with this comparison, a lot of people became more interested to collaborate with us. So as I said, it's not always a matter of money. There is one, Ducat Zanella, he started to join, helping us at 19 years old.
Yes.
He's now more than 40 and still more enthusiastic, becoming more enthusiastic to collaborate more with us, together with his family.
Very good. Let's talk about quickly before we end our first segment. Let's talk about success stories. I understand that you have alumni from this program, or kids who have gone through the program and now have made tremendous success of, you know,
yes.
of themselves.
Hey, for example, our project produce also doctor, lawyer, businessman, nurses, etc.
Accountants, engineers, we have a lot.
And they somehow
Everywhere.
give back to the organization. They help others, you know, in this journey of upliftment.
Some also are professors in university, La Salle, UP, etc.
How does that make you feel that these products of your project have now, you can see the fruits. They're now successful, upstanding, responsible citizens of society, giving back to the system.
Some know so many.
Yes.
Also because when, for example, when they graduate, when they started to have a job, when they start to have their salary, the first commitment for them
Family.
is to pay the utang, the debits,
Sure,
because the poor people, they don't have a cultura to save the money. They have a 100, they spend the 200. Also, this one entering education information
Yes.
from us,
Yes.
as to educate them. There are some, they are helping. And then when they can, they leave Tondo. But they go out also in province. Manila is very big.
Yes.
Pero with this one group, the group
They
of
really come back and-
alumni, they come back.
How does it make you feel, Tess? That these kids of yours, coming back and helping out and just seeing them successful.
I become more proud as a Filipino. Why? Because every time I go to Italy, I do not say our people are very poor. I always say we have a very promising group of young people. What they need is only the opportunity. And that opportunity, when they have, they can be a contributor to the society, not only to the Philippines, but I believe they are already spread all over the world, and they are now starting to become part of building a new society. You know, we have nurses outside of the Philippines. We have an international tax manager. So we have engineers, we have architects, we have nurses, we have teachers. They are out of the country, not only for money, but I believe they are already helping also the Italian people in Italy.
Very good, very good. Father, Giovanni, and Tess, we have to pause for a break, but when we come back, we'll say hello to Chiara, who's from Italy, whose parents are exactly as you mentioned, Italians who are helping Filipinos here through this program. Very inspiring story. So we'll stick around for that and more stories about Ctcfi. Guys, stick around because more of CTCFI at 30 when Global Village returns.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be. And it's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Tonight's topic is CTCFI at 30, and this is a showcase of the wonderful things that are being done through Filipino-Italian collaboration in the field of grassroots educational development for the youth. And we've said goodbye temporarily to Father Giovanni, but Tess Carmelo is still here, joined by Chiara Pelizzaro, volunteer from Italy of CTCFI. Welcome back, Tess, and of course, Chiara, welcome to Global Village and the Philippines.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's talk about your background. You are a volunteer for CTCFI. How did this come about?
I decided maybe 2 years ago to make this experience, and after my graduation, I talked with Father Giovanni and Tess to make this experience. So now I'm here to help all the foundation.
How do you help CTCFI? What are your activities as a volunteer?
Now I'm working with Tess and Father Giovanni in Talita Kumi, and I'm working with the other guys that work in the office of the foundation. I'm teaching the Italian.
Oh,
Teaching Italian.
Yes, she's also cooking.
Italian cuisine,
Yeah.
of course. Certo.
And Italian language.
Okay, bravo.
And the language.
Bravo. But understand that your family already has some sort of connection with
Yeah.
CTCFI and Father Giovanni.
Yes, my family are a sponsor of students now in the foundation. So every year we give the money to go to the school. This girl, we have a girl, and so we help the girl and maybe the family, I think, with the money. So
Very good, very good. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah.
How does this work out there? So people like the family of Chiara, do they support children through the entire length of their education or just per year? Is it a year-on-year basis?
What is good about this project is that they are available to accompany the child until this grows up.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe some will start in the first grade of school and then will finish after college.
Okay, okay.
Some are even given the possibility to join their sponsors once they have already graduated.
Very
But not
good.
for everybody.
Very good, very good. Now, your parents, Chiara, what do they do in Italy? Are they with the corporate Italia, you know, the corporate world? or-
My father now is retired, and he was a clerk, and my mother is a teacher.
Very good. No, because the reason why I'm asking this because with Father Giovanni in the first segment, we talked about the people in Italy who are helping, and he said, you know, these are not, multi moguls or people like Mr. Berlusconi. These are, you know, ordinary Italians
Yeah.
who are reaching out across the ocean, across the continents to help Filipinos, right, Tess?
Very inspiring. You know,
Absolutely.
at the start of the project, I was singing, maybe when I came to great things, we may not change the world in one day, but we still could change something today in our small way.
Very
So
good.
in a very small way, this is how I appreciate the program. Simple people, old people, you can see the energy, you can see they are tireless to work for the next generation, and this inspires me so much. Like every time I go to Italy, I have Elisabetta, Lina. These are women whose age are more than 60, 70, but they are so energetic. They can even run faster than me. They can cook better than me. So every time I go home, I try to bring home some of what they have. These are the beautiful experience I gain in going there. And then when I come back, I try to share this with my community. And this works for a lot of, this has been working for a lot of years. And
Very good, very good. In your case, Chiara, have your parents been here to the Philippines? Have they visited the center in
No,
Tondo?
no, no, no.
So you're the first one
I'm
from
the
your family
first,
to
yeah,
come
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Well, what stories will you bring back to Italy? I hope that you will help promote CTCFI
Yeah, sure.
to everyone
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your
yeah,
in your city.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. But now when I call my mother, my father talk about the Philippines and Tondo, and I think for me it's a very good experience. Not for it's only for my life, for my parents' life. I think.
What was your feeling? I'm assuming you've met your scholar. What was your feeling when you met her for the first time? Because you know, face to face, this girl whose life you're changing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm so excited when I saw the girl because I talk with her only with email, letters, on Facebook. But it was the first time to see a person that was so amazing.
Yes, I can
Amazing,
imagine.
yeah.
I can imagine. Special moment, not Tess?
Yeah.
Yes.
Special moment.
because I don't see it's always a subject of poverty. I don't see it like this. The program, what I see is that it's a venue for people to collaborate, and it becomes a reason why we can appreciate life more, better.
Definitely.
Because you can see the children, the young people, they are so gifted. We have
Definitely.
yeah.
I mean, just looking at the video that we showed before we came on, I mean, that video of, I think it was Family Day
Yes.
or one of these main events, you can see this is just a positive, very happy, very joyful atmosphere of the CTCFI. Now, where does this come from? Is it because of the good Padre Giovanni? I think so.
So I saw the Italians are very artistic.
Yes,
You know,
definitely.
they are very expressive,
Like Filipinos.
like us. That is why maybe 20 years ago, I started to plan, something different for the organization. I saw our young people are so gifted, and I think it can be translated into action. And the training will become more effective if they experience it themselves. So from this Family Day, we produce managers, we produce a lot of professions. Why? Because during the preparation, they are already experiencing leadership training, managerial positions. They start to plan, they start to implement, and then they evaluate, they commit mistakes, they argue,
But it's a very happy atmosphere.
yeah.
I mean, it looks like it from the video. I mean, it looks like everyone is just positive, and very light and just
Because it-
inspirational.
Because it's the natural characteristic of Filipino people.
And
That's
Italians.
yeah,
Same.
that's why they come to learn also to love our children and our youth. When they have the possibility to connect, especially now there is the Facebook, there is the cellular phone, there is the video chat, there
Yes.
you have a lot more ways to communicate. They become more inspired and they become more interested in collaborating with us.
Very good. How about you, Kiara? What has been the most special, the best experience so far of your stay here, volunteering with CTCFI? What has been the most, yeah, the one that's really captured you the most and given you the most joy?
For me, it's the meeting of the girl and all the people that me and not only me but my friends help here in the Philippines. This is, I think, the main and important thing and experience here.
And I
The
think it's
last
also
family day, Kiara.
the last family
Yes.
day. Yeah.
The meeting of the people that we have, that we help in Italy.
And I think coming home back to Italy from the Philippines, I guess you'll be a different person having undergone this very special experience. And it's something I hope that you can share with your friends back home. I mean, I'm sure CTCFI could use all the help to help other kids get the same kind of success.
You know, I think it's not only the Italian people helping the Filipino people, but it's a mutual relationship. Why I'm saying this one? Because I discovered that life isn't only a matter of money, but your happiness, you gain it when you are available to share it with people, especially what you have, your talents. Father is a very inspiring person. He's the type whom you can call a promoter. He's a promoter. In fact, he will start a project and somebody has to realize the project.
He's an idea person.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, absolutely.
Everything comes from his thinking, and then suddenly he will say, maybe this is good for really this is good. Talita Kumi, when he first started to think about this, the moment we visited the place, it was empty. And he
Yes.
said to his brother, "Oh, Giorgio, this is paradise." And deep inside, my God, I was very angry and say, "Oh my God, this is very far. And what will we do with this?" Because this was empty and very far from the outskirts. And then I said, "My God, at the end, I will be the one." And you know, little by little, as time goes by, you come to realize that he was right. The very first time he said it's a paradise, little by little, we come to discover that really that place can be called a paradise.
Absolutely. Well, if your heart is in the right place and your intentions are good, the universe will somehow come together to make things happen. And look at the way they've grown from one child scholar in 29 years ago to that video we saw of a whole community now. And now you have Talita Kumi all the way in Alfonso, which is a healing center, which we're going to talk about quickly in the third segment. But you've come really a long way. And it's so nice that people like Kiara have come here to volunteer and really have had this special, I think, almost life-changing experience for you. When you go
Yeah.
back to Italy, work as an architect, you'll carry this experience with
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It'll be part of you. You'll never forget it.
No.
What do you like most about the Philippines? Aside from CTCFI, aside from Talita Kumi and the foundation, what do you enjoy most about the Philippines?
The people. The people, yeah.
Very good, very
Yeah.
good. A lot of similarities now between Italians and Filipinos.
Yeah,
not
but,
not a difficult adjustment.
It depends of the part of Italy you take. In the north of Italy, we are not so happiness and friendly like here.
I think you work too hard in the north.
Very fast, no? Very fast.
Yeah.
So fast that sometimes they forget some important things. But what I really appreciate is that they know how to spend their lives. Rich or poor, the same, they enjoy the same privileges.
Very good, very good. Well, when we come back for our second segment, Father Giovanni will talk more about Talita Kumi And very interesting how you've termed your school. You don't call it, you call it
Scuola della Gioia,
Escuela de la Joya.
School of Joy.
School of Joy, very important. And you can see from the video, from the images, you can see there really is that joy that bubbles out of people. And that's something that I think cannot be, it's not artificial. It comes from the heart, no? Very good, Tess, very good. And Kiara, thank you very much and good luck the rest
Thank
of your
you.
stay here. Hope you have a wonderful time. And remember, don't forget to spread the good news about CTCFI
Thank you very much.
with your fellow Italians. Huh? So guys, stick around because more of CTCFI at 30 when Global Village returns.